What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode with my pal Alex and Feisty Pants.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show. It's Q&A 110. Holy crap! I remember when I did the first one. I was like, yeah, Q&A, I gotta tell everybody stuff. Paul Willis wants to know, Star Wars or Star Trek and Marvel or DC? Star Wars, because it's awesome. Star Trek, I like the technology in Star Trek, but Star Wars is just better story. Marvel, because there's, I mean, I do go around as Batman. Right, my boy? Daddy's Batman. But Marvel is better. I mean, when you look at everything that they have, you know, Superman, yeah, Wonder Woman, cool. Batman, definitely. But after that, it's like, I don't know what else there is. So Marvel has Wolverine, the X-Men, Captain America, the rest of the Avengers, and I just feel Marvel's better. Back in the day, I was reading like 30 titles a month. 25 of them were Marvel titles. So, you know. Marty Young wants to know, what would you teach Feisty Pants? What move would you teach Feisty Pants? And I said, he could teach me some things. Feisty Pants is a karate master over here. And were you surprised when Hop cashed in? I was, actually, because I thought he didn't make it to the arena. And I was like, oh, well, wait a minute. Hop made it. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Feisty Pants is beating up Daddy. WWE is Bay wants to know, if I had $1.5 billion, what would I do with it? What wouldn't I do with it? Goodness. What? I'd start with building Castle Grayskull, and I would live in it. Me and Feisty Pants. I would set up, I would take care of all immediate family and friends, and then I would just turn around and rebuild the community. Because, you know, if you can't give back, then you're worthless. The Ninja Brothers and Teddy Long both asked if I could manage someone in the WWE. It would be Trish back in the day. Sean McNair, sorry. Would you ever come to Scotland? Absolutely. There's a whole list of international places I want to visit when I get around to traveling. And Scotland is on that list. Sasso, he's a new subscriber this past week, wants to know who's my favorite superhero. I do parade around as Batman, so Batman. David Griffin wants to know what's my favorite season of Supernatural. I don't know if I have one favorite season. I mean, every one of them just played another chapter in the story, and any one wouldn't be what it is without the previous one. So I don't know. That's hard to pick one. Have you seen the Season 7 trailer of The Walking Dead from Comic-Con? No. I want to be completely surprised when Walking Dead starts. Completely surprised. I have purposely not looked it up. Would you rather be a human or a walker in the Walking Dead series? Human! I don't want to be dead. Or undead, for that matter. I would be human. What was the very first Yankees game you saw as a kid? They played the Royals. I don't remember what year it was, but they played the Royals. And they won. 3-1. It was awesome. Your thoughts about a crazy non-baseball fan, Nathan Mara, streaking through the Minnesota Twins Detroit Tigers game back on 7/20. He's a moron. He's just clearly looking for attention. I hope he got arrested. You don't do that in the middle of a beat. I mean, it's a nice, interruption, and people are probably laughing at him. Ah, ha, ha, that was funny. But no, it doesn't belong out there. Get out. Yeah. Your thoughts on Michael Jordan playing baseball in the 90s. He really tried, and all of the world thought he could do it because he was such a great basketball player. I shouldn't say that he was a great basketball player. He was the greatest basketball player ever. There are just things Michael Jordan did that nobody else can do. But yeah, everybody thought he was going to be great, and he really struggled. I was very shocked, but I was pulling for him. If you had to be any Star Trek character for a week, who would it be and why? I would want to be the guy that they find in a frozen sleep chamber, like they did with Khan. They found them in cryostasis, I would be a nice guy. I wouldn't be a crazy maniac. I'd be like, oh, wow, look at the future. Wow, do you remember when this happened? Well, yeah, because it would be all history to them. That'd be cool. Which legendary talk show host do you prefer, Jay Leno or David Letterman, and why? Let me tell you something. There's only one legendary talk show host in that question, and that's David Letterman. Because he's David Letterman. I've watched Letterman for years. If you want to talk legendary, you talk about Johnny Carson before Letterman. Jay Leno was not a legend. He was good, but he wasn't a legend. Which internet trend do you hate the most? The Harlem Shake, the Whip Nene, or definitely the Kylie Jenner challenge? She's a moron. Kids, you should see the video fails of kids sucking their lips into a glass and then they break down in tears because they look like jackasses. She's a jackass herself.
So funny.
Feisty Pants like that one. What do you think of the hashtag Paige deserves better trend on Twitter? I think it's true. I don't know what the heck she's doing. I wish she would come back to wrestling, and I'm sure she's doing something, and I'm sure we'll all hear about it pretty soon. Hopefully. What is your first horror movie you saw, and how did you feel about it afterwards? No lie, I saw in the same night. We rented Friday the 13th. You know where Jason. No, Jason wasn't the killer in Friday the 13th. It was his mother was. I thought. Right? Oh my God, I don't even remember. And Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy, like the beginning of Freddy, the originals. And back in the day, that was real. you thought it was real. It was like, and you know, it was just awful. No, it wasn't awful. I mean, looking back, they were, you know, cheesy special effects, but back then when you were a kid, it was like, but now everything is done so digitally and you know, real looking and stuff. But now I'm an adult, so maybe if I was a kid now watching the newer stuff, that might be even scarier. But no. I was fine afterwards. Will you ever beat the original champ at Pac-Man? Hopefully. We're both pretty good. We go back and back. I had a bum joystick on that arcade unit, so I got beat by the bum joystick. Brian Engel wants to know, Andy Vance liked Toys R Us and Transformers. Why? Well, Toys R Us was a job. Transformers was the coolest thing back in 1984. Came home from school, and then you watched Transformers, and then you went out and you played baseball. And Andy Vance, like everybody, when I was getting the baseball cards, all my friends was like, oh, you know, I like this guy. Oh, I like that guy. Darryl Strawberry, Wade Boggs, Don Mattingly. And I'm like, I don't need a big superstar. I'm gonna go with the underdog. So here's Andy Van Slyke, you know, having a good year with his first year with the Pirates, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy from the Cardinals in the World Series, and I was like, Andy Van Slyke, that's my guy, and I stuck with him because everybody teased me about it. So I'm like, I'm sticking with him, and 100 years later, I have a crap ton of Andy Van Slyke cards. Now I tell everybody a lot. If it was 1 year later than that, it would have been Paul O'Neill. The 50,000 card Paul O'Neill collection. Instead of Andy Van Slyke. Joseph at Andrew Gandara wants to know who's my favorite Batman villain. It's definitely the Joker. It always comes back to the Joker. He's the most well-written. Sam Tabrizi wants to know, do you remember when Star Wars was good? When was Star Wars not good? That was my question. And then Jose Sanchez wants to know if you're going to get WWE 2K17. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't suck. What happens is I hate the draft, but the draft and the separate SmackDown and Raw rosters better be in it. Otherwise, it's just another game I don't need. It's kind of like the updated roster with you know, like all the NXT promotions that are in it, but not the separated draft. So you only have half the history of the past year. So if it doesn't have the drafted stars in it, then I'm not even going to get it. Now, this has been Q&A 110. If you have questions you want me to answer, you leave them in the comments, and then I answer them every Sunday. I write them down like this, take some notes, and I answer them every Sunday on camera that you're watching. Don't forget to watch the most important part of the show. All right, I'm out. This is way past 10 minutes that I didn't mean it to be. Gotta go catch some Pokemons. Pokey! Right, my boy? Yeah. We're going to catch Pokemon. I'll see you later.